Big shout out, mic check 1 2 1 2, mic check 1 2 1 2. You're watching Jrod on Point. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate you though. Big shout out. Hold on. You mean? Let me get it together. Yeah, listen, if y'all been paying attention, if y'all have taken a look to the channel, y'all know what's up. Some videos are gone, some live streams are gone, money gone. Listen, we don't even care about the intro. The intro was just to make me feel better. Listen, fuck the intro. The intro was just to make me feel a little bit better about myself. We have a new subscriber that we need to send a big shout out, and it hit different where we have to send a shout out to a brand new subscriber. It's actually the subscriber that he has the most subscribers. It's actually not just a subscriber, it's a fellow true crime content creator. Is the subscriber that he has the most subscribers in this channel as a subscriber. Big shout out, and it hit different. Round of applause. Please stand up, everyone in the chat, even though we cannot see you. Round of applause for Swam Rose. Big shout out, big shout out. We're gonna get to the chat. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Big shout out to Lucy Morningstar. Big shout out to Swamp Rose. I had to. Big shout out to Twistle Stick, the legend, the man himself. Twistle Sticks. Big shout out to Twistle. Thank you so much for being here, bro. Hey, big shout out to Swan Rose. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Listen, great presentation. Great premiere. Great presentation. Great chat. Big shout out to Swan Rose, moderators and community. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. We are overwhelmed by the welcome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Twistle's in the building. Twistle! The courtroom legend, Twistle Stick, is in the chat. We have the legendary, newest, and hottest content creator in YouTube true crime right now as we speak, Future. Not just in harsh reality, but also Future. On Jewels of all trades, please stand up. Round of applause for Lucy Morningstar. Not done yet. Please let's give it a stand ovation to, if not the best, but one of the best in the business, not just in moderation, support team, focus team, sister, straight from Costa Rica. Please give a round of applause to Amy Conway, lady CEO in the chat. Round of applause. Please make sure, ladies, y'all give yourself a round of applause right in the back. Yeah, ladies are holding down the true crime community, and I appreciate you very much. Big shout out to the guys in true crime holding it down. Big shout out to Kane. Kane, where you at? I know you watching. Kane, I know you there. Primo, stop playing with me. You see this shit right here? You see this shit right here? Cash App TheOnPointFamily. Listen, if you love me, please start using it from now on. Listen, we are demonetized. YouTube had demonetized the channel. So if you see me posting this shit right here a little more often than before, now you know why. Listen, I fucked up. I fucked up. Listen, and I want fellow content creators that are here in this channel to learn from my mistakes. I'ma share what I did to get demonetized and the opening of this live stream way before we get to the topic, today's topic. It has some of the shit in it, you know, for the throat. There's some of the shit in it, like for the throat. Who cares about the topic? I'm demonetized, God. Amy, I'm coming to the. I'm here, but I'll get to the chat. I'm explain to ya. Listen, man, it's been a rough. It has been a rough career. Listen, since we started 3 years ago, it's been rough. It's been rough. True crime has treated us rough. ¿Por qué? Ay, ¿por qué? You treat me so cruel. We started 3 years ago. We had 2.3. We had 2.3K subs a year and a half ago. That channel got terminated because the Idaho 4 and Bryan Kohberger case. That channel that I started in the Kiely Rodni case got terminated by the hate of some content creators wanna be in the community of true crime, that he came out of nowhere with the Idaho 4 case and wanted to get validated. We a whole bunch of poop and misleading the people, talking about tunnels and parachutes and all the crazy shit. Linda Lane, fuck Linda Lane. I had to get it out of my chest. I had to get it out of my chest. I had to. And after coming back with 0 subscribers and fighting the hate all the way back to 2.43 thousand subscribers in YouTube and getting finally monetized, getting paid every single month. God damn. Eating Chinese food and shit. in Chinese food and shit. You know what I'm saying? Every 21st Chinese food. Fuck. Now I depend more than ever of your love, of your sincere love and loyalty. Listen, let me stop the bullshit. Listen now. Listen. Yeah, I got demonetized, so what? Anyway, when we came here, y'all know that we came here not even worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? We got monetization. Thanks to YouTube. Appreciate you so much. Team YouTube, y'all the best. Appreciate y'all. It was my fault. It was my fault. It was my fault. So, fellow YouTube content creators, if you have videos in private, fellow content creators that are watching as we speak, if you have videos in private that you are repurposing, that you are reutilizing, let me tell you something. The YouTube AI still recognize that private video as if it was published. The video is there. The AI could still see that video while it's in private. Big shout out to CHIC, mate. We're gonna get to the chat. We're gonna get to the chat. We're gonna get to the chat. Listen, I didn't get demonetized because whatever Jrod on point said out of his mouth. Ain't no Jrod on point getting demonetized because what I'm saying out of my mouth. What are you talking about? Every single live stream was in green. But if y'all have private videos just for purposes of vote, if you have private videos that you are trying to reutilize, and just because you think that the video is private, the system will not recognize as published. No, if the video is in private, the video still there. And the AI is gonna recognize it as you reutilizing content over and over. Right. If you have your videos in private, just stash, stashed up there. Listen, it don't matter. It don't matter if you have your videos in a whole different account. It don't matter if you're using a YouTube account to vote your videos. It's still there. The AI will still recognize that one particular video that you're thinking that you're going to reutilize and it's okay, is on your Vault channel where you have all your VODs and stuff, and the computer's going to recognize that video is already somewhere in YouTube. So when you try to reutilize your content, while you thinking that just because it's not in publish, you could reutilize it while you monetize. Let me tell you something. They will demonetize you because they're going to give you the message that it got sent to me that I'm reutilizing all content too often. I'm reutilizing content too often without any type of add-on to it. Like with no type of, even though if it's my own video, if I repurpose it and reuse it, but that video is in private, it don't matter if it's in a whole different channel, the video still in YouTube. And it's recognized as either this other account video, or that you still, even though if it's yours, you still have to have commentary over it because it's already somewhere else in YouTube. So make sure that if you're gonna repurpose your videos, whatever video you're gonna repurpose, make sure that it's nowhere in YouTube, it's nowhere in private in YouTube, because the system will demonetize you just because that one particular video that you're repurposing is already somewhere else or is in private in your own channel. The computer will recognize that as you reutilizing your content with no type of add-on to it. So it's like a copyright strike without being a copyright strike. You know what I'm saying? Because the system will recognize this content that is already here is being repurposed and used without no commentary on top. And we do that, thinking that the system is not going to recognize that video there just because it's in private or because it's in somewhere else in a whole different channel. YouTube will demonetize you if whatever video you're repurposing is anywhere in YouTube, anywhere. Don't matter if it's your own video, but as long as you have it in YouTube, it could be private on a whole different channel, or it could be private in your own channel. The AI will still recognize that video as it exists in the system. By the time you realize, YouTube will send you a message telling you that you're being demonetized because you're utilizing your own content unnecessarily. Literally, it's like you're reusing content that you already posted, and you keep using it without adding nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already there on the original form in private. So yeah, it's dumb, because the AI should recognize that the video is on private. That's why y'all see me. Listen, when I lost the monetization, I freaked out. I fucking started taking down whatever it could be reused, because whatever, and I will apply right back. It's okay. I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna fight it. You know, I see other channels in true crime reutilizing their content over and over it. I guess it was my time to get that. Big shout out to you too. Fair is fair. I recognize that it was my fault. I recognize what I did wrong. I should have known better, but I didn't. Being not just a CEO of a label, but also being a manager for other people in YouTube and being a manager on my own pages. I should have known that, and I didn't. So rest in peace, the monetization. I see YouTube in September. I see YouTube in September. I already have an appointment. We are gonna rearrange the channel. I don't know if y'all seen that a lot of videos that I consider garbage in my channel are gone. You know, it's a lot of videos. It's a lot of videos because the new policies and stuff, you know, and due to, you know, the toxic environment in YouTube, you know, policies are gonna start changing after the death of those two YouTubers. And you know, after the death of that couple on Facebook and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, Meta and Google gonna start doing something about it, about the toxic environment, not just in YouTube but also in other platforms. I believe the toxic environment is gonna be little by little being taken down a notch. So we're gonna follow through with the modern days. We're gonna follow through with what's new. Forget about what was old. Let's look forward to what's new. This is a brand new Jrod on point. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. At least y'all know what's going on with the channel. And that way, you know what I'm saying? For those that want to send super chats, you know, I know we have super chats raining in this channel. I know we have super chats raining in this channel. Listen, instead of sending it to YouTube, just sending it right there to the catch up, the On Point family. And I appreciate you so much. You're helping the family and a channel to grow. We appreciate you. So now, without further ado, please make sure to click like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and share the content. Everybody, very so much. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Chick Bait, Amy Conway, Swamp Rose, Twizzle Stick, Lucy Lou. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Today's topic: Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Prosecutorial bias, Judge HIPPLER confirmed. Prosecutorial bias, Judge HIPPLER confirmed. Before we start, we got to get to the chat. Chat. Piggy pop, piggy pop. Familia. Piggy pop, piggy pop. Familia. Big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to the chat. I don't know where I'd be without you. Thank you so much, Ray. So much. Appreciate it. Listen, Amy Conway advise and suggests to please make sure to click like, put a little bit of love, a little bit of DNA on that like button. We promise and swear to not utilize IgG methods on you. I promise. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Very so much appreciate it. Hopefully Amy Conway is doing great. Big shout out to Swamp Rose in the building. Big shout out to Swamp Rose. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciate it. Always as is. It's an honor to have you here with us today. Thank you so much. Very appreciate it. Yeah, no, I got demonetized. You know, hopefully you heard the story. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pick real quick the comments real quick before we start. I want to make sure that everybody feel welcome. My name is Jrod Point, official Jrod Point. Thank you so much for everyone to be here tonight. Amy Conway say, oh my God, what? You okay, brother? Yeah, I'm okay, sis. You know what I'm saying? It's being hard work. It's being hard work. We try to keep up with the days. We try to keep up with the days, you know, and still relevant. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that everybody understand. We have to take a winning lap. Me and Amy Conway have to take it. We have to take a winning lap. Because me and Amy Conway, we knew from the top, and we've been talking about it. We analyzed the situation. We analyzed what they were saying about Karen Reed. I want to say a big shout out to Karen Reed. Very good job. We have to take, Amy, we have to take the winning lap. We have to take the validation. We have to take the validation because, yeah, it's like Chick Bait say. Big shout out to Chick Bait. But when the guilters start attacking you, big shout out to Lucy. Big shout out to Lucy. Beep, beep. Big shout out to Lucy. Heather Fitzgerald in the building. But when you see guilters attacking us and talking all this yak about us being supporting of us supporting criminals, of us supporting people that obviously are guilty, they talk down on us. Listen, small channels like myself being talked down by big content creators. When those big content creators, they are guilters, their big communities listen to what they say out of their mouth. It creates automatic hate and confusion against us through what they say about us to their community, which is the YouTube community. So now it divides chat rooms. Now his chat room or their chat room, if they even feel that, even though they subscribe to that guilter, they feel that is something wrong there, and then they see that whatever we talked about, or Swamp Rose is talking about, or Lucy Morningstar is talking about, make more sense than what they saying. They scared of coming to our chat and participate, even watching our content, because if the big content creator community see them here hanging out with us, they're gonna get blocked over there in the same way they get blocked over here if they come with the nonsense. If they come toxic, they come with the bullshit, thinking that they're gonna stun over here in this chat. No, you get smoked right away from the hip. Amy Khan would be right there clapping, letting you know right now, you don't get no timeouts. You get blocked and the fuck out of here. We don't got time for that shit. Not over here. I know some other content creators, they are thirsty for attention, are thirsty for views on their channels. They are thirsty for engagement on their chat. Guess what? Not me, dog. I'm a whole different breed. Listen, it could be just me and Amy Conway on the chat. We still make this show. It could be just me, Amy Conway, and Jane. You could see only 3 people watching this show. If you ever see 3 people watching this show, it's gonna be me, Amy Conway, and Jane. And that's for a fact. I don't care, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not care if we have. I don't care if it's just me on the chat, but I have something to say. The show must go on. When I click live, it's for me. When I click live, it's for me. Yeah, it's for you to listen to it if you want to. When I click live or I put a video out, it's for me. It's not for you, but it's there to hopefully you appreciate it. It's there for hopefully you, when you click on it, you like it. But it's not for you. It's for me, because I have something to say. I hope everyone understand that, because I'm not here thirsty for interaction with people. I want to interact with people. They could relate with us. They could have conversations with us that they could see and take their time to see what we're saying here and where we're going, our angles and our hot takes. And they could enter the conversation and have, even though if it's a kind of passionate conversation, but at least that passionate conversation is making sense and is not being looked at as toxic. Is honest questions, honest opinions, honest takes. Like, you could be wrong being honest, but at least you're not being looked at as you pushing narrative. At least you being honest, because you saying that that's what you feel in the bottom of your heart, but then at the same time, don't get mad and don't feel weird when, while you have that common sense going about you about a case, don't get mad when you get confronted with or get challenged with information that actually goes with your information and contradicts your own information. Because I don't know if the guilters realize, I do not know if the guilters realize, but for every argument they have, just with the information that is out there, is it bigger and better common sense that it goes against whatever they talked about? Just with information that is already out there. Let's get that clear. I hear good nights, good nights. Somebody going to sleep. Big shout out to whoever's gonna go to sleep. I haven't looked at the chat. I was delivering my introduction of the topic today. But if anyone is going to sleep, good night, good night. If it's Swamp Rose, good night too. Anyone that is going to sleep right now, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciate it. So before we continue, as I always do, I want to make sure that we put the link there. Big shout out to Ken in the building. Let me make sure that I put the VIP pass. MVP VIP pass for whoever want to pop up and have a conversation about what we are talking about today. Topic: prosecutorial bias. Judge HIPPLER confirmed being biased. The link is right there. I'm pinging on top. Big shout out to Swan Robes. Have a good night. Very appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your subscription. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Very so much appreciate it. Before we continue, I have to turn on my lava lamp, my daughter's lava lamp. Because while we having a conversation, I want you to see the lava warming up. It takes very amazing forms. And if you ask me, it's very relaxing to watch the lava lamp. It relaxes me a lot. Big shout out to Lucy. Big shout out to Twizzle. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciate it. I'm gonna try to hurry up with the chat so we could get to the topic. Again, we are live right now. We are live right now as we speak. You are watching Jrod on Point. Today's topic: Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. We are going to take a look at what was going on today in court, or yesterday. We're going to take a look at that. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of details. It's a lot of details. It's a lot of details going on with yesterday. Swan Rose says she out with the cool kids. You appreciate you, Swan Rose. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Twizzle Stick in the building. Big shout out to everyone. Thank you for your support. Big shout out to Chick Bait, Amy Conway, Kane in the building, Twizzle Stick, Lucy Lou in the building. And we are about to talk about it. Make sure to click like, subscribe, and share the content. The StreamYard link is on top for those that want to pop up and have conversations about what we are talking about today. I know I gotta hurry up with the chat. All right, let me hurry up with the chat. I want to make sure that everybody learn from my mistakes. I don't want no content creator that he was here with us watching, or whoever's gonna watch on replay. I don't want you to go through what I went through with the demonetization. So please make sure that y'all take advantage of the advice, so that way you don't get that email. So you don't get that email from Team YouTube telling you that you are demonetized. Big shout out to Chick Bait. She's in the back. Big shout out to her. Lucy Morningstar shit. What did Linda Lane ever do to you, Jrod? Jrod, look at me in my eyes. Jrod, focus. We here in Ohio, right? Oh, dude, focus. What did Linda Lane ever do to you? Linda Lane. It's like saying villages. Leave Linda Lane alone. You hateful in the lane. Hold on. Listen, we did. Big shout out to Open My Perspective. Listen, she said she didn't got the notification. Oh, YouTube, you don't like me no more. Listen, like we are demonetized. I had to come up with a solution. Like we are demonetized. I had to come up with a solution. I had to. Don't tell no one. But guys, let's give a round of applause to one of the newest and hottest content creators in YouTube true crime. Please give a round of applause to Chick Bay. Hold on, I think we got you here. 1, 2, 3. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. Okay.
Chick Bay, thank you so much for being here. Very appreciate it.
You're welcome. Can I introduce you to our newest and greatest other content creator, the rain that might shut us down when I have to go?
Yeah, it was tornado alerts and everything. I was like, what?
I know. I was on a program earlier. I won't name them. It's different.
Oh, it's okay. You know, we over here, we Mortobelo, Gabagoo, we okay here. It's fine, man.
No, anyway, friends of mine, and yeah, they were down there in like Georgia, and they had storms there too.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's going on in America?
Well, I tell you what, we are very happy to have you here with us today. Big shout out to everyone on the chat. Chick Bay, I have a question for you about the Idaho Fall Bryan Kohberger case. Did you watch the hearing yesterday?
I caught bits and pieces of it. I was busy all week, so I had to rely on other channels, which is kind of par for the course sometimes. And I was worried about the continuance part, you know. And I hate, that's a strong word. I strongly dislike Judge HIPPLER. And
please elaborate on that though. I like what you're saying. Please hit me with the goods.
My elaboration is there's no way in HE double hockey sticks he's not aware about, you know, Amazon Prime, everything that Ann Taylor would be bringing up, you know, and Peterson's new book, and like there's another book, another documentary, everything's slated to come out before the trial. She wanted a continuance. You know, if I was a judge, I'd be like, you know, that's fair. I don't even care if it's been 2.5 years. Justice takes time, is my opinion. And in Kohberger's case, it definitely takes time. And I was working on something today, but my power went out and there were storms all day. So once again, I couldn't put that out. I've been producing a lot slower as it is because of work. But
I gotta say that in my humble opinion, as a judge, you have to do your homework on the transcript. You have to soak yourself with all the information that is on record. As a judge, you have the opportunity to see things that we don't get to see. You get as a judge, you get to see things that the defense team don't get to see. And go ahead.
He's the head honcho, you know, he's in charge. Basically, he should have the most basic knowledge of the perimeters of the case. And there's no way he's in the dark over the media coverage. So he should be able to objectively, you know, apply that to the prosecution as well as the defense and go, I hear you both out, but we have problems here in the real world. And as of yet, he addresses it very slowly, in my opinion.
I think he was mocking the Superior Court today, even though the Superior Court was the one that chose him for his case. It was at one point in the court hearing that they were talking about the speed which the Superior Court take care of their cases, and even Judge HIPPLER said that they work slow. But he said it in a way like, oh, we do a better job than them speeding up this shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's like when it's someone's life in the middle of all, it's like, and you try to go with the maximum penalty and stuff like that. Why would you waste taxpayer money and rush a process to get a guilty verdict to make the guilters happy, while in the back door you're gonna get a exoneration after reapplying to get the case review and shit. You know what I mean? Like
If this
if
wasn't a D penalty trial, my conversation would be a little bit different, but not much different.
right.
However, you already waived your right to a speedy trial. So you can take your time. That's the whole point of waiving your right to a speedy trial. He's got a public defender. They're doing the best they can on what they are afforded to do with what they've got. The prosecution is the one going like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And it's like, then they slam them with a document. I don't have the footage in front of me, but I can see it in my head. Remember when Ann Taylor said that was a lot of stuff to look for, like terabytes or something? And they're still talking about that they haven't looked through everything. And they're like, let's go anyway. That's not a fair trial. You did not give the defense enough time to look over that much evidence.
You know what's weird? Sorry to interrupt you. You know what I found very weird? I have seen many cases that it seems like the defendant is actually guilty. And they skip the speedy trial, and I see that the prosecution, even though the defendant looked guilty, like we could say, like, dude, just with what the prosecution has presented, this case looked good for them. But then the defendants skip the speedy trial, and then the prosecution are the ones that, even though they have a good case, they take the longest.
Yeah.
The longest.
Now you know why I feel like we're in the twilight zone. The prosecution wants to speed it up. And the defense is like, hold up, wait a minute. We need to look over everything. The prosecution's like, but we already did. Really? In the same amount of time that they had, same amount of time, they were able to look over everything, turn it over later, and say, look it over in a shorter amount of time. Now, I don't have the dates and references in front of me, but you know what I mean. Even if the prosecution had enough time to look over everything, they handed it over when they knew the defense did not have enough time to look over everything. What is this, a basketball game? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's actually something that I did picked on it when that new prosecutor. Have you realized Jennings not there?
My favorite. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but she was the one who pointed it out, I think, initially, in one of those things where it's like, she's had time. I'm paraphrasing. And the judge is like, what? You know, like, I hate that judge. Like,
But and then the new prosecutor even mentioned when he said, like, oh, but the defense team applied the put down this motion a little too late into the game. What game you talking about, dog?
Well, I thought the game was when the judge was asking, I think it was still Ashley Jennings, right? And
no, he said it today too. I don't know if you heard it, but he mentioned the word game.
It's kind of like an echo chamber.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, she was saying that they had enough time, and Ann Taylor's like, no, we didn't. And sorry, the rain's going on again, and my ADHD kicks in.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Where was I at with this? Okay, so there wasn't enough time, right? Time is of the essence. Even if you bring in a new prosecutor, it doesn't change the timeline. Okay, you can't change what happened before. And if they want to smudge the truth, you know, whatever the word you want to use, They are definitely trying to do that. And Ann Taylor is trying to hold her own and go, we need a continuance. We need more time. And the judge should be well aware of that. The judge here did not want to take on this trial. He had a bad attitude the entire time.
And that's very telling, though. That's very telling because again, if you as a judge, if you're gonna take up on a case, you are the referee, you are the facts chaser.
Yeah.
You have to be very unbiased. You cannot do which we're gonna see on this video in a little bit. You cannot you cannot in the middle of the court. You cannot be nice to the prosecution and be like, oh yeah, that definitely cost you a lot of that definitely cut you a lot of headaches, huh? Like
Yeah,
you're gonna compliment the prosecution, but then when Ann Taylor gets on the podium to talk to you, you looked at her like this stupid bitch.
Which makes me question, how does Idaho operate?
Right.
Because you saw every transcript, every document, every motion filed, everything here, there. You're the one signing your name on everything. You're the one sealing stuff. You're the one opening up documents. And you're telling me you don't understand the timeline? Then I'd fire you. I would legit just fire the judge. Throw this whole thing out and start over.
Go ahead.
Like, legit makes no sense to me how on earth can you let evidence be delayed that much and have the defense complain about it in perfect language, legal language, and you're like, no, you should have time to see this. They didn't have time. And then he got mad at her for taking on another job, and that's when she said, but I thought switching judges, I'm paraphrasing, meant that I had time to take on another client at the same time. And he got mad at her because he doesn't want to admit that he sucks at what he's doing too, in my opinion.
Well, and I have to agree with you because okay, I get it that he might be like the highest ranked judge in that one particular courthouse. I'll get that, okay, but at the same time, if you are going to conduct this type of trial, you have to have a judge that has to have some kind of experience on what we are dealing with right now here.
No, but that's the irony. If he thinks that Ann Taylor has too many cases, let's say 2, imagine how many he's juggling. So he's sitting there like,
and you see, like, if this is where we see the prosecutorial bias in Judge HIPPLER, and if you ask me, this is why I put confirm on the title, because we are only looking at what he presents to us. We could go only by what he presents as a judge. I'm allowed to have my opinion for what he presents himself for.
Now,
go ahead.
My aunt was an attorney at this point. Not only, like, you could probably try to get a new judge again and just like wait for this case out, or you can throw Bill Thompson out and take a pause because none of this is going correctly. None of it. And I don't care if you mean a criminal case or corporate case. My aunt was a corporate attorney. Once you fumble the ball in the game one time, that should be enough. How many times has the prosecution fumbled? Way too many times. And I'm talking about, Syray, Brett Payne. Let's go back to the very beginning. Let's go back to Latah County. Let's go back to Judge. The whole reason this thing shifted was because they could not solidify a case against Bryan Kohberger. So they move it over. And is it going any better? No, it's not going any better. If anything, now, I think the last time I checked, Ann Taylor's ready for the penalty phase. I think 56 witnesses for Bryan Kohberger's, character. just in case they get to that part where he's guilty. And I don't know the count of witnesses for the trial phase. And now they're going to release another book, and that's okay. No cease and desist. Amazon Prime, no cease and desist. Dateline, no cease and desist. TMZ, 48 hours. Idaho has messed this entire thing up. That's my opinion. I don't know how they can do a cease and desist or if that's the right term for it. But I'm pretty sure pre-trial, this should not be happening to any ordinary American. And by all accounts, Bryan Kohberger is just an ordinary American.
I totally agree with you. And it gets way worse when let's put it like this, okay? We again, for what they have offered far as information, we could tell that they focus on Bryan Kohberger. They focus on him. Okay. So in the same way they focus on him and they speed up to get that man, right? We see that in the way they went about the business, it was all wrong. Like we're talking about all the way from Brett Payne. Wow, legacy media is telling us when Bryan Kohberger got arrested, in the same way they presented the IgG technique, they presented the cast cell phone data.
Okay, so Jrod, remember so that trailer came out for Amazon Prime, right? How old do you think those interviews are? Number one of them stated that they didn't know who the guy was yet. It kind of overlapped between before and after they found Kohberger, quote unquote. And they've been sitting on this until right before trial. That's nefarious to me. That is an injustice, according to anything I can think of. I don't know the right terms for it. I'm not an attorney. I am not an expert. You know. I wonder what you think about how long Dateline and Amazon and everybody else has been sitting on interviews they've had pre-recorded that weren't privy to until now.
You see, before I answer that, I want to finish that what I started, the conversation that I started, far as when Kohberger got arrested. They presented the IgG situation and they complemented it with the cast cell phone data that they presented on TV with that trip all the way down and going back up, right? And legacy media was telling the whole world that was the FBI work. From the very beginning, they were lying to the public because they thought we would have never found out. Oh, they thought we wasn't really paying attention. So when they presented to the public, to the whole world, oh, this is the FBI work. Now it put the stamp of being legit because it's the FBI. So now when we go to court and we found out that Brett Payne literally took only a percentage of the information that Balance sent to him. Only a percent. He literally just looked at a possible route. And the report said possible route. It was not a this is it. It was not a this is it. This is why Balance they didn't want nothing to do with that. You do it.
The PCA and the maps. This is what we think he might have driven. That was what made me infuriated from the very start. I'm like, how can that be a legal document? Here is what we think could have happened.
Like, okay, go ahead. I like that. Go ahead.
If it's about imagination, right? Then I could have come out with like 50 more pages of imagining where he went. Maybe he went to the Bahamas. Maybe he went to Disneyland. Who the F knows? The possibilities are effing endless, because now that I can put a legal document together and just imagine where we think he went, that would explain why he got home at the time he went, and match it with the Elantra that we think is his Elantra, but he went this way, but then he went that way to King Road, but then he went this other way. But the next morning, he took a direct route because he didn't need to do all that other stuff. And I'm like, okay, because of the thing that happened at the apartments that we learned about later, right? That there were roadblocks. So of course he took a longer way that night. Who knows which way he took? But it was all theoretical.
Balance that information that he was there.
I think Bryan Kohberger went to space camp that night.
No, you know what's the worst? You know what's the worst part of all?
Party for his nephew at Chuck E. Cheese. Who knows?
Do you know what's the worst part of all? That PCA is confirmed at this day today that drawing did not have a test drive to back that up. Wow, they presenting this to a judge on a PCA to go and arrest a man all the way across the state.
To the grand jury, don't they? Because it's like you and I going on Google Maps, trying to trace where we might have been and how long it would take to get there. And that was it, you know? Like, and that still cheeses me off. I'm trying not to swear on your program.
Oh, you're good. But you see, here's the part that it bothers me the worst, right?
Okay.
You use a PCA we are drawing while you saying that this is the FBI just to cover the poop of that work right there. It was done by Brett Payne, a uncertified and non-cast member. He's an uncertified non-cast member, utilizing the information from a legitimate cast member, but the cast member is not stamping, is not putting the work to present to a judge or to present even to Moscow PD. That work was not finished, because for them to even have the right to present that to the judge, you have to have not just schematic, but you have to also have a test drive that it will back that up. That takes time, and that's something that they did not have.
No, they rushed it. But if you're going to say cast member, let's go back to Disney World or Disneyland, right? And Brett Payne,
get him.
Rookie, okay? And they're like, let's let the rookie do this. Right?
Conveniently, because he would have done exactly what he's being told to do.
Throw him under the bus.
Yep. It don't matter if it's illegal. It don't matter if he's committing a crime to try to resolve a crime. It's
as long as it's not the usual suspects at the police academy. You know what I mean? And that's where I don't even feel sorry for Brett Payne. He should have said, no, I'm not writing this. No, I'm not doing this. He could have said no at any time.
You know, in the only way they could have get him to do that is making him think that he's doing vigilante work. Listen, we're doing this under the table. Listen, we know he's the killer. We cannot tell you how we know he is the killer, but we're gonna have this little thingy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go do this little thingy under the table, right? Because we need this guy. Like we know he did it. We listen. We with the FBI. We know. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we're
just follow
Shaggy.
Right. And he do like a Scooby-Doo. Okay.
Yeah.
And then here's the problem. If the FBI is involved, Forrest ass, whatever information was given to Brett Payne, because this is a problem. This PCA was complemented by a cast draft that it was not even made by the FBI, and it was not even made by a certified cast member. And they utilized that on the first PCA to go all the way to Pennsylvania. We a
Yep.
task force to go and arrest a man that not even having what they had, they couldn't arrest him. Not
They
even having what they had with fugitive of the law warrant, couldn't even pinpoint him and get him. They had to literally sneak around, have the garbage company, because they knew that was sneaky, have the garbage company go and get that trash can, take it to your yard, and we're gonna go over there. We meet you over there, and we see what we could find here. Because even though we have a fugitive of the law warrant, we still cannot arrest these men. So how you get the warrant?
no,
If you can arrest this
why
man,
would you
soon as
let
you see him with
why
a
would
warrant,
the Elantra is evidence? Take the evidence Elantra across country. You're losing valuable information. You know that phrase, one fry short of a Happy Meal? This
yeah.
is the FBI planting a fry in a Happy Meal. It's a
Go ahead, get him. I like what you're saying.
apology there, you know, and like you said, to the media, not to the media, about the media. They said that FBI is involved. Oh, that sounds serious. This must be legit. That's how it works. But it's not how it works.
Because they caught in
And,
corners and being sneaky.
you know, Peanuts the comic, you know, so Lucy has the football.
Yeah, and
And
that right there is very
FBI
bothering.
is
How,
holding the football, and the American public
yeah,
is trying to kick it, and they'll never, ever get it right. This is a total sham and cover up in my book. It's classic in that, my opinion. And that's why the prosecution, like you said earlier, usually wants to hold off until they know everything. They want to rush it.
and Lucy Morningstar said, "Where is Jennings?" And you know what though? I believe the Jennings. I believe the Jennings. I will feel. I will hold that thought to finish my train of thought. I don't want to like keep
We'll
bouncing around, but Jennings, we could tell that he has a terrible, awful, disgraceful, a dirty job in court. We could tell that. Listen, if us as non scholars of the book of law and not have a degree in con law, we could see that Jennings fucked it all up.
And
Because
that's why
she's on video and on record saying what she's saying.
why do you think you need an unbiased jury of 12? Because non-experts can see right through this razzmatazz. On that note, I'm going to get going. The rain is picking up here.
Hey, listen, Chick Bay, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna keep talking about this. Thank you so much for being here. You are welcome here all the time, anytime. Big shout outs to you.
You guys,
We appreciate you.
you are great, and I am so sorry about demonetization.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Gritty out there. Just beware.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. A round of applause for Chick Bay. Thank you so much for being here. Very so much appreciated. Big shout out to Chick Bay. So I want to finish my train of thought. Anybody could hit the link. Don't get blocked. Big shout out. I want to finish my train of thought, right? Big shout out to Chick Bay. She always doing great on the panel. Thank you so much. Very so much. I appreciate it. A round of applause for Chick Bay. Big shout out to everyone on the chat. I'm getting to the chat. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I got you. But I think Jennings fell. She fell. She fell on her performance in court, and they got her out. I think that this is why they got the new guy, because they knew in a way Jennings was presenting her statements in court. We could tell that she was nervous. She had the nervous giggly. She had the face of like, well, so what? Like, yeah, we fucked up. So what? Like, what? Like that right there. is a bad look for the prosecution, and I think Bill Thompson understand that. And if you ask me, Ashley Jennings might be out. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think that Ashley Jennings was doing anything good to this case, and due to what's being said about this case and Ashley Jennings taking part in certain things that it looks illegal, it might be a reason for her to not no longer being in court, especially in this type of important hearing, because this hearing was right now, this hearing today, the part that we couldn't see is very important, but the part that we saw, it was also important, because these people cannot fake it. These people, Judge HIPPLER, the prosecution, are bad actors. I don't know if y'all heard with the poise that Ann Taylor was in court. Ann Taylor she had the poise. Ann Taylor was speaking from the heart. Judge, low voice, very poised. Judge, this is what it is. She talked to the judge like she know that even though she's presenting her arguments and the way she's presenting it, that any other judge would see what's going on and would be more fair, especially studying the case like he should do, like he must do, for him to be able to take the proper decisions. He should sound and look fair to both parties. If we see that the prosecution is looking bad and there's some serious shit going on with the prosecution, even though he make that paperwork look like the prosecution is the one leaking shit, he treat the prosecution like the prosecution haven't done nothing wrong. And then in the opposite, Ann Taylor has not done nothing wrong, has complied with every single deadline. They had not skipped, violated not one deadline. Deadline. Prosecution has skipped and violated many deadlines. At this day today, the last request for discovery, 23rd, 24th, or whatnot, is still not being responded back. They still don't have those materials, but they say, oh, but with the materials that we have gave them, they should be ready. No, they are not. What are you talking about? Won't you want to cook this man? And if he's guilty, make sure he's guilty, but not rushing the shit to try to make it to satisfy a group of people. They pay you donations, Judge HIPPLER. You want to satisfy the Idaho upper room. You, Judge HIPPLER, you want to satisfy the donors and the voters from the upper room that are the one that putting money in your pocket when you're going to go and ask for donations when it's time to vote for you to be a judge back on top. If you don't do what you've been told, you are not going to get no motion to be where you at. As a matter of fact, you will lose your job, Judge HIPPLER. You will lose your job if you don't do what you're being told. It don't matter how bad it look. It don't matter how bad you look. You know why? Because they gave you your job. The University of Idaho and those fraternities put you where you at today. The killers are students from the University of Idaho that you came from, that you got your degree from, that you are part of that sororities, that you part of those fraternities, that you are part of those fraternities that we are talking about, the same fraternities that we're talking about that the killers are from. You, Judge HIPPLER, you are in those fraternities. And we know. You, Judge HIPPLER, you're compromised. And we know. We don't guess. On that, you compromise. And we know for a fact. Not just looking at you and what you're saying at your mouth in the way you present yourself in court, but also we already track your roots all the way back to the University of Idaho. That's why you was chosen, because a whole bunch of judges from Superior Court that are part of the circle of the University of Idaho, fraternal brothers in Superior Court, they are you fraternal brothers from the University of Idaho. They chose you to be the judge. In a way, they chose Brett Payne to be the detective. In the same way, they chose Moscow PD to be the investigative body, having state police, having FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, and every motherfucking Secret Service agent on this case. But you have Brett Payne creating a cast for a PCA. That's invalid automatically. Why Judge HIPPLER? Why Judge HIPPLER? Just think about it for a fact. Judge HIPPLER knows that it's illegal. Judge HIPPLER knows today they're having a PCA to go and arrest someone across the nation. We an IGG that is not even certified, or even it couldn't even be used to go and arrest this man. The FBI tell Moscow PD, do not use this to go arrest this man because it's not enough. It's not even legal to use it by itself. What they did, they complement a cellular CAS data draft from Brett Payne to go and get this man. You know how we know he's bogus and it will free Bryan Kohberger? Because if that draft it was any good, they would have used the same draft for the secret grand indictment, and they didn't do it. They have to have Maury that is not even certified by the time on April 2023 to create a draft, a CAS draft for a secret grand indictment, for a biased secret grand indictment ran by the prosecution with the defense team don't have no idea what's going on. And then now it invalidate legally by law, it invalidates the first PCA. Because now you have to redone a draft for a secret grand indictment, invalidating what you already done to arrest this man on the PCA. You fucking retards. And then the second CAS draft that they do, oh, let's give it to Maury. Maury had the introduction to CAS years ago, 2019. Like 8 hours of it. On the introduction of CAS, that it does not certify Maury to do what he did for a secret grand indictment. So now we have a PCA done by Brett Payne, now certified. Now we have a secret grand indictment done by Maury that is not certified. How the fuck Bryan Kohberger is locked up at this day today? When the judge knows that that's illegal. You cannot have a man locked up by the hands of non-professionals saying that we did this because the professionals did the work first. And we went by what the professionals did. But guess what? You got busted not using all the information that might exonerate Bryan Kohberger. You only use 18% of all the information without no test drive. And the innocent man is being locked up for almost 3 years. We a motherfucking illusion and fantasy created by Scott Green. By a make-believe that he was engineered, created, and put in play by Scott Green. He's the only man that he has the power to do this. He's the only man that, just like Puff Daddy, that just like all these other powerful people, Madea, we fucking knew that Madea was gay. Tyler Perry and shit. We know that every single motherfucker that is a millionaire think that he could twist the law to make it look like whatever the fuck they want to make it look like for their people, their own crowd, their own cultists, get away with murder. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time, Scott Green. Do you really think that we didn't run your fucking whole background shit since way back then and know how dirty you are, bro? Do you think that I'm going to sit here talking about you and not knowing about you? Is you think I'm stupid? Meanwhile, everybody's terrified of you. Meanwhile, Scott Green, everybody's terrified of you. I'm not. I'm not. Because the truth will set me free. The only person in the whole Idaho that could pull this shit off is Scott Green. Is the only person with enough power to have all these motherfuckers looking the opposite way. And also telling whoever is handling the investigation, in this case, Moscow PD, don't forget, the University of Idaho has the latest techniques, laws, and loopholes available because they study that shit. Because they teach students con law. So guess what? Nobody knows the book of law and how to fuck with and go around it to break the law and make people think something that is not. This is Scott Green and his team, his university staff, telling Moscow PD exactly what to do. Okay, this is what you got. This is how you're gonna fucking do it. And it's no FBI behind this shit. Yeah, the FBI provided some information that told Moscow PD, do not fucking use it, you idiot. But then, like, you already had Bryan Kohberger cell phone data. If you didn't have Bryan Kohberger cell phone data in the very beginning, from the very top, you wouldn't have it at this day today. If you wouldn't have Bryan Kohberger way back then before he was even on the radar. And that's in the only way the motherfucking balance could have created anything. They could have complement anything for a PCA. And then you have FBI cast members on site right in your office, but you the bitch ass that they fucking created the draft. Make that make sense. You're trying to cook a killer. You have FBI members in the same motherfucking room than you. But they did not create a cast that got Kohberger locked up in the first place. And the first PCA, it was a Brett Payne crayon marker made up. A kindergarten student just making a draw by something that the FBI said that could be a possible route. Created by a detective that this is his very first motherfucking case. ever. With no experience. Don't know what the fuck he doing. He don't know what the fuck he's saying. He don't have no experience. He's no experts. And his work should not be taken upon consideration to arrest no one using that cast technique. It makes invalid that work because it's done by a non-expert with only 10% of the information. The same 10% that Maury utilized for the secret grand indictment. And he also not certified by April 2023. So who the fuck is validating this fucking work? The motherfucking judge. That's how it's confirmed. That's how it's confirmed the bias of the courthouse, the bias of the judge, because the judge knows, and the judge is the only one that is still at this day today keeping this case alive when he know that this work was done by two non-certified members of CAST in two different separate stages of this case. The first CAST, the first PCA to get to the secret grand indictment is voided. You cannot present no work in court from a non-expert, non-certified member. You cannot validate that work just on that first PCA. But with the first PCA, you arrested Bryan Kohberger. You kept Bryan Kohberger locked up with the second PCA done by Maury in the same way Brett Payne did. And this is legal. If this is legal, big shout out to Katie. Thank you so much for being here. If this is legal, no, the only person that is keeping this case alive is the judge. Because the judge know in the back of the head, because you heard him saying like, oh yeah, I'm real good. By the time you put a motion in, I already know what's my response. You are that good. So guess what? You gotta be the same good to fucking study their own fucking case that you're being the judge of. You as a judge, you need to know that you have Payne and Maury creating cash reports to validate a IGG work. And the complementation of the IGG work is invalid, which makes the IGG invalid. Which makes the arrest of Bryan Kohberger invalid and illegal because you complementing an IGG work with fake created information from a non-expert. It's fake and it's created. Why? And it's a fact. Why? Because they only use 18% of the information from the FBI without the FBI certified or stamped on it. So in other words, they playing with Bryan Kohberger's life to cover the death of these 4 young adults by the hands of students of the University of Idaho. Can y'all see how dirty this case is? Can y'all see how people are willing to break the law or act like, oh, I did it because I did not know? To not make it look like, oh, yeah, they fucked up. Yeah, they fucked up, but they did not know what they were doing. They fucked up because they were not trained to do so. Oh, yeah, they fucked up. No, you did that on purpose because you knew if you get caught doing what you're doing, that's what you're going to say at the end. That it was their fault, not your fault, Bill. You're gonna blame Brett Payne and Maury for doing a job that they knew, that you knew that they were not supposed to do, which makes illegal the arrest of Bryan Kohberger because Brett Payne did the draft that complemented the IGG for you to be in Pennsylvania arrested and digging on the trash can, which makes Bryan Kohberger arrest illegal. because the PCA that you utilize is done by a non-official cast member, not even certified, and he don't even know what the fuck he was doing. But you stamped that warrant and still went and got that man. When you realize that it was not a sufficient proof, and you're cutting corners, was about to get exposed by Aunt Taylor, what the fuck you did? You went with a secret grand indictment to make sure that Bryan Kohberger don't get out. You went behind everybody's back with your trickery. The first cast that you did, you couldn't bring it to court. Bill Thompson knew that he needed to bring that cast made by Brett Payne. That was the same cast work that he was supposed to bring to the secret grand indictment, because that's the secret grand, that's the cast that got Kohberger arrested. The one that Brett Payne did. The one that Maury did kept Kohberger locked up. But even that is illegal, because if you arrested Bryan Kohberger with this PCA, the cast that complemented that PCA for you to have Kohberger arrested, it was the same information that you were supposed to bring to the secret grand indictment, and you didn't. You know why? Because it wouldn't fly. Because you knew it was made up. So then now you have to use Maury, because the first cast, it was just a drawing made by hand. Then now you have to have Maury to get into the system and have an official halfway made, only we earned 18% of the information for a secret grand indictment, just to make it look professional. Because you knew you couldn't use Brett Payne work on the secret grand indictment because it wouldn't fly. Oh, Brett Payne not certified, we cannot use this. So let's have a halfway certified. We are introductory, still not certified to do this work. But now, like he does know a little bit of it, let's make it look like professional, only with 18% of the information to keep Bryan Kohberger back locked up. Oh, big shout out, big shout out. I didn't see you back there. Big shout out. Guys, a round of applause to Luis. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it, brother. Sorry I had you in the backstage. I was zoned out. Brother.
Oh.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it, brother. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, I hear about the case, and like it's just ridiculous.
How you what you think about what I was just saying right now, if you was paying attention?
Like, yeah, I heard it, and like I think the judge needs to go back to school and like get a better degree.
I mean, think about it. If you as a judge, you know what it validate and certify a document, especially if it's evidence. As a judge, you know what it takes to validate and what you should have in power or on hand to validate certain information, certain evidence, right?
Yeah.
At this day today, none of the two drafts, not the one that got Kohberger locked up and not the one that got kept Kohberger locked up, none of those two drafts are valid, because are not made by people not just certified, but in the first place they use a marker to go and arrest a man in Pennsylvania, a marker with a possible route by a non-expert. And then the second one, then due to that they couldn't use the first one, which it was the one that they needed to use on the secret grand indictment to validate what they did, because that's the one that you utilized to go and arrest this man. They realized that they couldn't use it in court because it was just a marker.
Oh yeah,
it was no work behind it. It was not even a test drive about it. Like at this day today, Ray can't find no test drive, not even for the first one, not even for the second one.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they're not even attempting to try to even get the case to have justice. Just want it closed.
I mean, think about it. The judge know these details. Like he does know these details, and the judge is the one forcing and pushing this case to still be active while he know those details. So if us as viewers, big shout out to Brenda Lily, thank you so much for being here. Is us as viewers and as true crime aficionados and content creators and viewers, we could see these details out there in the public. How the judge don't act. I mean, I know it's a gag order, but how can the judge, even though if it's a gag order, can be like, listen, guys,
Yeah.
this case is not substantial, because what it locked this man up and what it kept this man locked up was made by non-professional, which avoid these opinions because they are non-experts. Even though if they use experts work, they only use 18% of that work. Where's the other percent?
Um, Probably. I have no clue.
And listen, I appreciate you for being here, though. I really do. Thank you so much for coming by, though.
Well,
Oh, anything that you want to share with us as far as this case go?
well, Cyril knew he can't provide it. He usually testifies for the prosecution.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think in my opinion, Ray has the key
Yeah.
and the tools to actually expose what was actually done far as the cast data. Um, I think the judge might force this to go to trial, even though in the state that it is today. That's just my opinion. I wish it'll be the whole opposite. I wish the judge, which I don't see that happening, but I wish the judge had some common sense.
Well, yeah. They want. Oh,
Hey,
hold
hey,
on.
dude, here. I'm still
Oh,
here.
you're good. You're good. Listen, I'm very happy to have you here with us today, though. Thank you so much for visiting us.
Yeah, no. Before Lewis goes, he just wanted to say he was telling me during when I was talking, and he was like, Cyway was with Cyray, I'm sorry, was with the prosecution, right? And I'm
Yes, Cyril, 9 times out of 10, he's been working for the prosecution, though he has locked up multiple people.
yeah, and they're it's kind of like weird that they're kind of like, I don't know, like ostracizing him or like blackballing him.
Yeah, they try to like discredit him. I think that's malicious if you ask me, because the man don't have that reputation.
No, he don't have that reputation at all. Anyway, but Lewis wanted to say his own 2 cents, and
Yeah, go ahead, family. I'm very happy to have you here. Please make sure
say your
that
goodbyes.
let us know how y'all feel.
Well, I like your show, and hopefully this trial has some justice, and hopefully we hear more details, and maybe it can maybe have a mistrial.
You see, in my opinion, I'm gonna put it like this: in the same way, the state is got focused on the investigation of Bryan Kohberger and forced the issue on Bryan Kohberger, even though he was there, nothing to really work with against the guy. In the same way, they forcing this whole investigation against the guy. In the same way, I see with my own eyes that they forcing the court upon this guy. They have the court focused in the same way the prosecution is focused. That's where you could see the biasness on the court, and that's dangerous, because
Well,
then the court, we trust in the court to take the right decisions. Like, we trust the judge to, if they see any inconsistency, if he see any inconsistency on the evidence, especially on the certification of that evidence, we are trusting the judge to not just find that out within the documents, recognize that this product was done by non-professionals, people that really don't know what the fuck they're doing, and the judge be the one that stop this case dead cold. And as soon as the next hearing comes, it's like, well, I have to talk to both of you, to the prosecution and to the defense team. This is what's going on. This is what we have in hand right now, and blow this case out of proportion.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I agree too. Like, I mean, it's such a shame that like he's getting a raw deal.
Yeah, he getting railroaded, and the worst part about it that we can't even trust Judge HIPPLER to be the fact searcher or the fact chaser, because the facts that the prosecution is using are not just incorrect, are incomplete, and are not certifiable just because the people that make the evidence against the guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I think the defense should like go after the judge for corruption or something.
Well, if you ask me right now, as we speak, they have on record, not just on whatever hearings are being public, but also on the transcript of the hearing. Just think about it for a second. Big shout out to Kiely, big shout out to Brenda Lilly. Welcome to the moderators.
Well, I'm like so pissed off at Idaho too.
Like if you see the performance when it's live for everyone to see, and we could tell that is the judge is biased towards the prosecution. Just imagine the things the judge said in private that we don't get to hear.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we have no idea like why the judge is so acting so corrupt.
I mean, again, I
Well,
do have an idea.
well,
The judge traced back to the University of Idaho.
well, yeah. Well, this is corrupt. Have lawsuits against inmate.
And also Bill Thompson is like Amy Conway say. Bill Thompson had go like Ann Taylor has going against Bill Thompson before in other cases. They have worked against each other in other cases. I don't know what's the win percentage of Ann Taylor, but for my understanding, for what I've been hearing, again, take it with a grain of salt, is that Ann Taylor had caught Bill Thompson falsifying shit. Again, take it with a grain of salt. I advise everyone to do homework on the cases that the Bill Thompson has taken care of. Make your own open requests and stuff with the cases that the Bill Thompson had taken care of. But if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Hey, it's word on the street. But
Steve Green is covering up for Ann Grant Ann Taylor's a grand there.
Yeah, I really believe that this trial is compromised, starting all the way from the investigation all the way to the court prosecution. Everybody is gonna try to cook this man. They are gonna
it's like
railroad this man all the way to a conviction, and then pray that on the appeal he don't get exonerated.
Well, yeah, true.
I think that's the focus of the prosecution right now.
Yeah, he's getting railroaded.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anything else, my brother? Anything else that you want to add before we continue?
No, that was it. I just wanted to tell you my 2 cents.
Yeah, is it Chick Bay wanna add up anything to it? We appreciate.
Not really, son. You know, I just appreciate your show. You're on fire with this. I love your passion about it.
I'm sweating over here. Though.
I know, AC.
Yeah, I appreciate you though. Yeah, both of y'all are great guys. I really
we got
appreciate
to the power outage, okay? So we got bored for a few hours there. All right.
Hey, listen, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us, guys. Actually, I wanna watch a little bit of the hearing today. If y'all wanna, y'all more than welcome to stay. I wanna start.
We'll stay, but I'll keep Lewis on screen because he's so.
Oh yeah, you're good though. Hold Hold on, what was that? Hold on, let me take a look at HIPPLER is compromised. Yeah, HIPPLER is compromised though.
He what?
It's all right. Give him a little time. It's fine. But yeah, HIPPLER is compromised. Amy, why you block him?
What? Lewis don't compromise.
No, I'm talking to Amy Conway.
No, I know.
Shout out to Amy. No, she smoked Caroline, but Caroline, the only thing that Caroline said was that the HIPPLER was compromised, and Amy Conway smoked her.
Oh,
yeah, right here. She said Caroline said HIPPLER is.
What?
She said no glasses. I thought it was a chess show. No, yeah, I'm not gonna block Caroline because she really didn't say nothing bad.
Yeah, I don't.
Big shout out to Caroline. Sorry, Caroline's all right. Amy Conway, I love you, girl.
Caroline,
You're from the hip. You're all right.
All right, we'll stay if you stay.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna start playing this hearing today. I want to pinpoint a few things that actually seen that are very, very interesting on today's hearing. So might as well, without further ado, let's take a look at Ada County. Ada County being biased over here. Big shout out to everyone. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for being here.
HIPPLER presiding. Proceeded. All right, this is CR 0124316665, State v. Kohberger. On behalf of the state, we have Mr. Thompson and Mr. Horowitz. And on behalf of, when should note the defendant is present with counsel, Ms. Taylor, Ms. Massoff, and Ms. Barlow. This is the time set for or at least the public portion of today's hearing is set for the motion to continue the trial filed by the defense. So we'll start with that.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Your Honor, our motion to continue has been filed and is necessary to protect Bryan Kohberger's rights under the United States Constitution and the Constitution of the State of Idaho. Specifically, a continuance is necessary to protect his due process rights, his rights to a fair trial, his rights to effective assistance of counsel, rights to confrontation, Mr. Kohberger's right to present a full defense, and if it should come to it, a fair sentencing hearing and to be free of cruel and unusual punishment.
And that right there is a right that he has. And again, skipping the preliminary hearing and skipping all these speedy trial and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, which is regular to do for the prosecution. The prosecution, when they know that they have a guilty man, when they know that this man is cooked, when they know that they have enough evidence to cook this man or any man, the prosecution, due to they already know they won this case, they will fall back and let it delay. Oh, what? The defense want to delay? Oh, let it have it. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not even going to debate that. Oh, you want to continue? Let's do that. No problem. 9 times out of 10, when the prosecution has a solid case, 9 times out of 10, they're not just going to go and offer you the information that you need as the public to know this man is cooked. We got him. The prosecution will brag about it. The prosecution will share information without letting it all out. The prosecution will make sure that they brag about how good of information they have to cook this man. They also gonna fall back, and due to they know this man is guilty, They just gonna let him rot in jail. They are going to let him rot in jail because they already know they have enough, and they already know this man is guilty. So guess what? We ain't gonna spit nothing now because we're gonna torture. We're gonna torture that man that we already know he guilty. We have enough. We're gonna torture him, standing in there as long as we want, because he skipped the speedy trial. In this case with Kohberger, is the whole opposite. They not just have not enough evidence that it makes sense, but also whatever they do have is fabricated facts. It's not my opinion, it's for a fact, because Brett Payne and Maury were not certified to do what they did, to not just arrest Bryan Kohberger, but also to keep him locked up. Just because those two created what they created for this work, it should be voided and invalidated, because they are not experts to complement an IGG with whatever work they did. They have FBI agents on site. Maury and Payne have FBI agents on site. If they wanted to make sure that Bryan Kohberger is cooked, because they see the information and they know he's guilty, they're going to make sure they're going to certify that information, having the FBI doing the cast report, because they are the pros. Not no Payne, not no Maury. The FBI are the ones certified and the pros on that. So we trust whatever work comes out of them. But then now we have Maury and Brett Payne, one doing it with a marker and the other one doing it with 18% of the information to arrest and keep an innocent man locked up using the law, using the motherfucking con law, doing illegal shit.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Going around loopholes. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Oh, it's ridiculous about it.
Again, the only people that is validating this work is the judge.
Well, they need to find out if they can get a new judge.
But here's the thing. I think Ann Taylor. If you ask me, Ann Taylor know what she's going against, and if you ask me, Ann Taylor is creating record. She know what she gonna request. She know with the angle she gonna go with, and due to for what she's seen already, I believe that she already know what she's working with. Yeah, in my opinion, I believe that she already know that Judge HIPPLER is compromised. I think that she already know, but here's the thing. For her to request Judge HIPPLER to get off the stand, she'll have to have that request through Superior Court, because Superior Court was the ones that picked and chose Judge HIPPLER for this case.
Well, she's a genius.
Oh yeah, no, she's pretty smart, and that lady that she got from federal court, Massive, oh, she a beast.
Well, yeah, she doesn't fuck around.
She a beast. I bet you already Massive is looking at the judge like, Judge, I will shoot you up. I will shoot and just beat you right back up in Superior Court. Judge, if I find you in Superior Court, I'm gonna smoke you. I will have every single person you try is gonna be innocent. I promise to you. I bet you Massive is like, man, you playing around because you in district.
Well, yeah.
If you was in Superior Court, I would have smoked you already.
Well, yeah, she's eating this up.
What I think they doing, they cooking Judge HIPPLER, not just to get him off the chair, but also to prove a point that the state is working in cahoot to railroad these men. But they need proof. And the only way they need proof is putting the judge in certain situations to take certain stands and to take and to validate certain motions. And it depends the motions that he validates and the ones that he don't validate, and plus whatever and however he present himself in court. All that is evidence in the way he speak, in the way he treat the prosecution, in the way he treat the defense team. We already know that he treat prosecution with a feather, and then he throw rocks to the defense team. Like what the defense team has ever done to you, when on record they have a crispy clean record on this case.
Well,
how in the heck the judge gonna even have any type of animosity, which is illegal? The judge is illegal having any type of animosity, which it makes it personal, which it makes a compromise against a defense team in court.
Well, let her cook. She won this before.
Oh yeah. No, here's the thing. She already have reverse stuff. She already has dealt with certain judges and stuff like that. She already seen how the state of Idaho works certain cases and the way they play around the legal loopholes to have people look guilty just because they trying to frame this person, because they try to literally protect someone that is linked to the state some way, somehow, through second, third, or fourth persons.
Well, she hates corruption.
That's what I'm saying. Is blatant corruption, and we see it as it's happening. How, if we see it, how can even Superior Court gonna take a look at these hearings and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Judge HIPPLER is doing a great job? They could say that. They could say that because they have not seen the record. They have not seen the transcript. They have not seen the Judge HIPPLER literally seen all the holes of this case, and he's still there trying to push for a trial.
Well, yeah, any jury will see it.
No, the problem here is the problem here is there is a way, and everybody knows this, is a way, especially in such a tight niche. I'm gonna put it like this. Everyone that it links back to the University of Idaho, they already know what's going on. That's upon thousands of people that are linked and tracked and traced back to the University of Idaho, either fraternities, sororities, or some way, somehow they link back to the University of Idaho. All those people are jurors.
Well, media corrupts the jury, and university sways the media.
Long story short, those same people that trace and link back to the University of Idaho that are possible jurors,
well, yeah,
are being poisoned and being told what to think and what to do, while they already know what to think and what to do when they part of it. They part of the same Greek life. They part of the same fraternity, sorority. If not grandma, grandpa, uncle, auntie, mom, dad, someone is related to that.
well,
As long as it don't matter if you related toward as a second person, third person, fourth person, it don't matter if you're not part of the University of Idaho, but your family is. You're ready what the fuck to do.
Well, yeah,
for a fact. And this is thousands and thousands of people that are possible jurors for this one particular case. We seen in the survey, for change of hearings, we seen that Ada County, it was not far away from Layton County on how much people think that Kohberger was guilty. Ada County, it was right there. It was not much of a difference at all whatsoever, and that could also be used as a possible change of venue again.
Well, follow the dollars.
If they pissed off with a motion to continuance, they'll be more pissed off if Ann Taylor out of nowhere comes with another change of venue, just showing the fact that it was moved, because the percentage on Layton County But then now we try to hear on Ada County, and now we see the Ada County, the percentages of Ada County of difference between Ada County and Layton County, it was like a 5 or 3% of difference. So guess what? Those 5 or 3% of difference are relevant, because guess what? And now if we go to Ada County Courthouse and now we see a biased judge like we have right now, we will definitely have a biased jury as we speak right now.
Well, yeah. Ann knows it's insidious with money and university.
Right. My point. And the download, they already know that they will get their credit after being a jury. That they already know, okay, you do this for me, we got you already. This just how it goes in that type of lifestyle. It's a secret code. Everybody owns loyalty. Moms, dad, cousins, uncles, third, second, fourth cousins, like everybody, along as one family is in the whole lineage of that family, it should be moved accordingly.
Well, yeah.
And they know that.
Well, she knows she may not win, but she fights.
No, she gonna fight though. Here's the thing though. I feel that if she create enough record, and prove that not just the judge, but in the way they've been treated, in the way Bryan Kohberger and the motions and the way things is being handled in Ada County, it's not coherent, it's not due process, and he looks and he seems and he feels biased, not just from the prosecution but also the court. Then now we've seen the prosecution with all these leaks and stuff. The judge make the prosecution look like they've been leaking shit.
I mean, the fucking judge.
But then when you talk to them in court, when you see him again after you already light him up on paperwork, when you see him again, you watch their back like, oh yeah, it must be such a trouble for you, huh?
Oh yeah.
No, that judge, man, he knows what's up.
Yeah, it's a problem when we could tell that the judge knows, because if we know, he knows. If we know, if we see, and we know, the judge already know. So if you ask me, it's more of a fault of the judge keeping this case alive when the judge have the proof on his hand that whatever evidence is there is invalid. But that's the same information that they want to bring to a jury, for a jury of people that don't know any fucking better. They only know what is presented to them because they are a bag of potatoes.
Jrod, I would have shut a lot of things down, cease and desist with Dateline, Amazon. I'd be throwing all my cards at the wall, right?
But you see, that's something that Ann Taylor had to do for herself. She have to line up the cease and desist herself.
I know, she brought it up like it was news to them, and I'm like, what?
That's the only thing that I don't see happening, and it bothers me, because it's like Ann Taylor is expecting the court to take a decision upon that, for the court to have a cease and desist on whatever they're sharing. Ann Taylor is the one that he needs to make the letter of cease and desist to those people. She's Bryan Kohberger's lawyer, not Judge HIPPLER.
Yeah, but then they're wondering why her work is like overloaded. It's like because she has to do the work that the court's supposed to be doing. She's doing it for her client and for the court.
But here's the thing that they don't understand when they try to push that narrative. This is the one thing that they don't understand.
Okay, hold on. And then
the evidence, and I'm speaking for what they said in court. All evidence that was given to the defense team, it was mislabeled.
No, it's all.
It did not have a report of okay, this is all you have collected in this case, right? Okay, cool. So where's the evidence report where you pinpoint and identify the evidence that he actually applies to Bryan Kohberger?
Okay, some of those forms, by the way, if you look at like the thing on your internet, like it has like a label like on the tab. it'll say like William something, you know, like, and then hers will be like meticulously labeled, and his are sloppy, has F. Like,
It doesn't even says what type of information is there
no,
either on the
no,
document,
no.
videos, sounds, or whatever is evidence on the evidence pile
It's
is not
hard to
properly
find
labeled.
information.
So that means that they have to go through whatever terabytes of information because they don't have a guide, what is called an evidence report. Okay, we got this here, this here, this here, this here.
Yeah.
Here applies to Bryan Kohberger. Here applies to other suspects. Here is just information that we collected for investigation purposes.
But why is HIPPLER playing dumb or lazy? Like, there's got to be one or the other, because it's definitely not being a educated like judge.
But the problem here is the judge HIPPLER knows this. That's the problem. That's where it confirms the biasness of the court through the judge, because the judge knows, like, how many times Ann Taylor had told the judge, whatever we have as we speak right now, let's not talk about what we still missing today. Let's talk about what we have, what they actually have given us.
All right, keep saying it. I want to hear more. I want to hear more.
Is everywhere. Yes, as soon as I'm ready. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Is already there for the judge to see. But it shocked me how come that is there for the judge to see, and the judge is not acknowledging that. That's what it shocked me the most.
The record of this case spans 2.5 years, and it shows that this request does not come as a surprise. Looking through the history of this case shows that the defense has met challenges and difficulties along the way, but has been dedicated in meeting all of the deadlines. We have talked about the discovery issues.
And yes, they have meet every single deadline, but the prosecution haven't, and they still being looked at as they are the trouble and the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't get that part. A judge should be upset, or not upset, but it should have some kind of annotation against the team that he has not.
You know how the judge reprimands Ann Taylor's team? Reprimand the prosecution.
That's the problem, that you see that though. It's bad. Like, how you gonna reprimand the defense team, but then when you see that the prosecution make a leak and you made it and you acknowledge it on the paperwork, then when you see the prosecution again, it's like they didn't do nothing. I'm gonna make you look good. You good? Don't worry.
Try to like defend what the prosecution didn't do right. It's like they have no control over that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with you though.
This courtroom before, and that in large part brings us to need a continuance. 68 terabytes of information is a huge amount of information. There have been 23 requests for additional discovery over the span of 2.5 years, and 7 motions to compel. When I say that this doesn't come as a surprise, that this comes from the record, I would direct the court to look back to May of 2023 and June of 2023, and our second motion to compel. Included in that was what was known as Exhibit A from the defense, and that depicted how we were receiving discovery. So this is not a new issue. This is something that's been coming up for a long time. We were receiving discovery, but it was such that you would get a file that would say hundreds of photographs, hundreds of pages of reports, each having to be looked at individually to know what was there and then organized. This case has also faced unique issues, starting with the media coverage of this high-profile case, non-dissemination orders that were addressed in courts, and then the grand jury materials that we had to fight to get access to before we could properly challenge the grand jury indictment. We faced issues with discovery, particularly with the IGG materials. We spent a great deal of time trying to get access to those materials. Those were ultimately, what we could get was ultimately presented in a motion to suppress, and that's preserved should there be a conviction in this case. We faced venue issues in this case, culminating in the change of venue and bringing us to Ada County. At the first hearing in this courtroom, we discussed the discovery issues and not having read everything and being ready with a full investigation in this case. That was apparent through our motions to strike the death penalty, our motions to compel expert disclosures filed in September and December of 2024,
The same motion that it got denied.
and request for more time to file our motions in limine that was granted in January of 2025. Throughout the course of the motions in limine and then a motion to strike death based on discovery issues in February and March of this year, the record is replete with notice that we are not prepared to go to trial in this case. The discovery is vast and we have not had a chance to review it all. That we met deadlines for experts shows our dedication to comply with court orders. It does not depict effective counsel ready to go to trial on this case. We would submit that it's the court's responsibility to assess this motion to continue with heightened due process that's required in death penalty cases. The death penalty case is different. That comes from Ford versus Wainwright at 477 U.S. 399 at 411. The court must be sensitive to safeguard every avenue of due process. The Idaho Supreme Court said the qualitative difference between death and other penalties calls for a greater degree of reliability when death is imposed, and that comes from State versus Creech, 105 Idaho, 362 at 383. Looking at all of the constitutional rights Mr. Kohberger has, effective assistance of counsel really becomes the crux of how all of these other rights are covered for Mr. Kohberger.
And you know what's crazy? That for that death for a case that is being trying to be seen as a possible death penalty sentence or whatnot, she have a checklist from the bar from the lawyer association. She has a checklist for a proper counsel. She have a checklist that she must make sure that every single box gets checked on, especially for if an appeal is needed. It's certain things that she got to keep record of and whatnot, and it's a certain checklist that she has to obey by. Now the prosecution new guy is gonna say, oh, she not necessarily have to check every single box. We just go to trial, and if it's an appeal, it's an appeal, and then they'll figure that out later in the appeal if the lawyer did good or bad or whatnot. No, if he's a good lawyer, the lawyer is gonna make sure that from the very top, in the same way the investigative body needed to investigate this case flawless, in the same way the prosecution needed to prosecute flawless, in the same way the court and Judge HIPPLER and back then Judge needed to take decisions flawless, the defense team has to check every single box on what the bar has given to them for a proper, not just due process, but if while you doing that, you preserve your record and you good doing, the appeal will win. The prosecution guy is like, oh no, why they worrying about what you need to do for Kohberger now when we good to go right now, when they know they're not good to go? Let's go to this process of trial. Let's find him guilty. And we don't care if we lose an appeal, but at least we have a win because we know we pushing this to a loss for Ann Taylor. The worst part of it, that the court is running along with them. So in the case that the prosecution wanted to do something like that, at least you have the court to stop that. At least you have the court to be, okay, I see what you're trying to do. It's not going to happen. But in this case, we don't have that. In this case, we have a free-for-all of judge. There is all whatever the prosecution want to do, and who cares about the defense team? So when the judge look like that, then now you look biased, you look bad, and it's not a good vision about this. Anything you want to add to that? No? All right.
An effective assistance of counsel applies both to the merits phase and the penalty phase of a death penalty case. The courts are guided and counsel is guided by the American Bar Association guidelines on capital cases. Wiggins versus Smith, 539 U.S. 510 at 524, said the ABA guidelines are guides to determine what is reasonable. And that's talking about reasonable performance by defense counsel in a capital case.
You see?
The Ninth Circuit in Andrews versus Davis at 944 F3D 1092 at 1109 relies on the ABA guidelines as the proper measure to test an attorney's investigation. In Idaho, our public defender statutes reference the ABA guidelines as applying to indigent defense. These apply to the full investigation of the merits phase and require us to raise all legal claims. They require us to perform a background on all witnesses that might be called, especially those being called by the state. That means
Yeah, I want to highlight that, Amy. It's a difference of the posture that Judge HIPPLER takes when Ann Taylor is talking and the posture that he takes when the prosecution is talking.
He looks really engaged.
It's very different. It's like with Ann Taylor, it's like here we go again.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's like me in a math class in like junior high where I don't want to hear about it.
Right, you have the face like, oh my God. And then when the prosecution is gonna talk, you see himself rearranging himself like, oh, we're about to talk some good shit here.
Yeah.
means that we have to review all discovery to be able to present a full defense for Mr. Kohberger. We cannot present what we are not aware of. I would note for the court that discovery has been ongoing. I received discovery just this week. It is discovery that I have not reviewed yet.
She just got discovery this week. This week. You muted though. You muted.
The deja vu, you know, because this time Ashley's not there. Same story, different day. And I'm not really that cranky of a person, but this cranks me off. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
Ann
bad.
is just being honest. Like, you dump all this on me at once, and then you roll your eyes and act like the bullies on the playground or in the cafeteria. What do you mean you can't read 6,000 pages in one day? Which makes me doubt that they read it either.
I'll tell you what though. The trial is supposed to be what, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I'm counting it down. I have bitten all my fingernails off. I am just waiting for this, you know.
So it's like what, 2 weeks? Can anybody tell me in the chat? It's like a few more weeks into the trial.
We're in June. It's supposed to be August, right? August.
All right. So let's say a month in a week, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And been saying this for 2 years. Yes, Lucy. Yes. Here is a problem that I have.
I like
we don't know the amount of discovery that it was given to Ann Taylor, right? But we could only assume that it was a vast amount of discovery.
Well, I remember one hearing where it was Ashley Jennings going, you know, and then the judge was like, you had you have plenty of time, or so. I'm paraphrasing, right? And it's the same thing, different day. Like Ann Taylor's sticking to the record.
Yeah.
This is a lot of information to go through. I don't care what any of you else are saying. You gave it to me on such and such a date, which I don't have offhand. On
And
my
scatter. And scatter.
Yeah. But she's sticking to it. And how dare you not like hear her out? You know, she is the public defender, but she's also the attorney for her client, and they should treat her as such.
And she's not just any public defender. She was the head honcho and leader of her office. Like she's the main boss
Yeah.
lady at her office. Like she is not like someone underneath her is
Yeah,
taking
no
care of
small
its case.
pebbles there. She has no small pebbles, you know.
Right. And she's being treated like this is her first case.
No,
How
yeah,
that
she's
come?
being treated like a I don't know what the word is, freshman
A
at ball camp.
peasant. A peasant. The
Yeah,
word
like,
is a peasant.
it's her first rodeo. She'll never know.
Right. Like it's like but here's the problem. Here's the problem.
It's condescending.
It's a psychological warfare.
Well, it's condescending is the word I was looking for.
Because if we make you believe, as long as we saying certain things, as long as we saying the right things for us that we need to say, we will make people that don't know what's going on believe what we're saying, because they don't know no better. They don't investigate. They have to go by whatever we saying. And as long as
in a different world, you know,
like as long as prosecution and the court and the investigative body is saying certain things due to they are all in the same bed, they are gonna make each other look good. They're gonna wash each other's back, and they all together gonna group up and gang up and get the defense team to make it look weird. So in overall, if us three, the investigative body, the prosecution body, and the court make all together, even though they all look stupid, they all look weird, they all together make the defense team look weird, the viewer, the people that don't know no better, is gonna think like, yeah, the defense team is fucking up.
But that's the irony, is that they're trying to make her like the scared little defenseless little girl, like Mary had a little lamb kind of. Now,
yeah, like she ain't gonna do it to you type of shit.
Yeah, and I don't know, because she's white, has blonde hair. You know what I mean?
What you got against the white people? What you got against the white people? You know what people gonna say right away? What you got against white people? And you white?
It's sexist. If you ask me, it's sexist. They're that's what I mean. I don't care what color hair or skin she has. They would go hard at her just because she's a woman in Idaho.
Yeah.
Trying to act tough against Santa Claus.
I do agree with you, though. Big shout out to Leslie and Billy. Thank you so much for being here.
I
appreciate it. Welcome
this time, but Lewis did want to like do a shout out, and
go ahead, brother.
Well, I enjoy your show, and hopefully we get some results in August that'll be good for Kohberger.
Yep.
Hey, hopefully we don't get no trial in August.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, guys. Guys, a round of applause for Chick Bay and her husband. Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. Thank you so much for coming by and spending time with us. We so much appreciate you. Very, very welcome. Thank you so much. Let's continue.
Considering what's required at a penalty phase in a capital case, we're required to perform in a way that the jury can carry out their function of individualized sentencing. That means that Mr. Kohberger's background has to be known and investigated and ready to present to the jurors.
Big shout out to Backwood. Thank you so much for being here. Very appreciate it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Big shout out, my guy. Big shout out.
Evidence of his character has to be known and ready to present to the jurors. and his circumstances have to be known and ready to present to the jurors. That's addressed in the Woodson case and in the Lockett case. The jury must have the opportunity to consider all evidence that may weigh against the death penalty, and that means anything from his life.
And it's something that we need to take upon consideration, guys. Okay, this is something that we need to take upon serious consideration. Okay, they just got discovery. They just got discovery few days or that week. Hold on. They just got discovery this week. Let's say 30 days before a trial. They have not finished with what they got going on with the discovery that they already had before. Still sorting to it, making sure that what could possibly be used against Kohberger and whatnot. They're researching what they have available from discovery back then. They have keep getting, guys, we talking about the 23rd, 24th request for discovery. So they got the 60-some terabytes. They have not finished with that. And then as they go, first motion, second motion to compel, we have 24 to 23 motions to compel. And every single discovery they get is as bad or even worse than the one that they have not even been done with yet. Because prosecution, Moscow PD, and whoever's involved with the collecting of evidence, their incompetence, don't know how to put a profile together, evidence together, and label it proper. So whenever whoever needs it, oh, you need this, is right there. This is what it is for. No, you purposely threw a deck of cards in the air for them to sort it out. That's malicious intent from the prosecution to delay the same things they say the defense team is doing. They only deflecting what the prosecution is doing on the defense team, and the judge is going right along with it. That's dangerous. When it's the judge watching the back of the prosecution, that's dangerous. Because this day today, we could tell we fabricated it. Is the cast cell phone data is confirmed a fabrication just with what they said in court. We could only take those conclusions because whatever they say themselves in court, and with whatever side Ray have brought up to court. If we put two and two together, for a fact, Brett Payne and Maury fabricated with 10% of the information a draft, a cast draft, to not just arrest a man, but also to keep him locked up. The confirmation of that certification is nowhere. Judge HIPPLER knows that. They know that due to the lack of not just expertise, but the lack of knowledge on those topics. Those two individuals were not supposed to be put in a position to create and fabricate. Because if you're not using the whole 100% of the information, you only use 18% of the information, you fabricating information which is illegal in a court of law. But we still talking about this case? Who's keeping this case in court? Not the prosecution, the judge. Because the judge knows this. If I know this just with what they shared to us, the judge already know. The judge been knowing this, and the judge might force to go to trial knowing that the evidence against Bryan Kohberger to arrest him and to keep him locked up is 100% fabricated. You know how that information don't become fabricated? When even though it does individuals, Payne and Maury, would create a cash report with the 100% of the information. The side ray would have seen like it's a 100% of the totality of the information, and they also have test drive for both drafts. They also have individual test drive. They will collaborate the information they bring into the table, even though they're not certified. Even though if they're not certified, but the job and work that they did is legit. Like, okay, we get that you're not certified, but then Ray is going to look at what you did, and he's going to confirm or deny what you did. As we speak today, the creator of the system that you utilize is telling you that it's not enough information for you to do what you did. That's as equal a fabrication. It's illegal fabricated evidence that did not just arrest Bryan Kohberger. Fuck the IGG. They couldn't done nothing. They could have shoved the IGG up their ass because they couldn't arrest Bryan Kohberger without the CAS cell phone data. You get that? I hope everybody in the chat realized that they could not arrest Bryan Kohberger with the IGG by himself. They needed a cell phone CAS data to back up the IGG for them to get a fucking first PCA. Period. It was fabricated from day one, Amy Conway. Fabricated from day one. Yeah, Chick Bay, they can't use the IGG to arrest Bryan Kohberger. The FBI told him do not use this by himself to arrest Bryan Kohberger. That's on the report, on record. And by law, we are on research. It's a fact. The Moscow PD couldn't go to Pennsylvania to do what they did with what they have. Because they not just had it illegally under the table, but then now you also fabricate on top of that. Because if Balance would have done that, if Balance would have done what Brett Payne and Maury did, he'd be in shitload of trouble. He'd be on shitload of trouble. Because I bet you anything on my life that if Balance would have created a report, Bryan Kohberger wouldn't be locked up today. I bet my life on that. That if Balance would have created a report, with a 100% totality and test drive, they wouldn't be able to arrest Bryan Kohberger because they would have saw like this man wasn't even in Idaho when this shit was happening. It don't matter when was happening and at what time. This man was not even, he didn't even cross the state lines. He was going the opposite way back home when the alleged crime was occurring. Even Judge HIPPLER said that if what Maury put on that report, it was incorrect, possible fabrication, he would have got indicted. You get that? Oh, but the same judge that said that did not allow a frank hearing. The same judge that said that did not give Bryan Kohberger a frank hearing to make sure the cops did not fucked up. You know why Judge HIPPLER did not give you a frank hearing? Because he know if he gives you a frank hearing, it's over. It's no more case. Moscow PD, the court, prosecution would have got caught with their pants down. It would be Judge HIPPLER's fault on their eyes. It would be Judge HIPPLER's fault for the end of this case. They would have cooked him. They would have fired Judge HIPPLER next day. I bet you anything. If Judge HIPPLER comes out of nowhere and be like, well, I'm sorry to tell you, this shit over. Too many inconsistencies. The evidence cannot be validated because whoever created it, in the way they created it, not even telling the judge on an affidavit, a sworn to God affidavit, that Brett Payne and Maury had only 18% of the information to complement the IgG. Fuck the IgG. The judge is focused. Oh, we got a match. We got a DNA match. Bitch, for you to get that DNA match, you did some illegal shit to go all the way to Pennsylvania, and you already done the illegal shit. You literally did some illegal shit, creating a document with falsified evidence for a fact. Is on record in court for a fact. It's on record in court, and I could say it. I could say it because it's record in court that for a fact, Brett Payne and Maury utilized only 18% of the information available to create a cast. And then Maury deleted how he created it because he would have got caught lying in court. He would have got caught fabricating evidence. That's why he deleted the login, because he's fabricated. It's a make-believe. And we make-believe they have an innocent man locked up to protect the real killers, which are students of the University of Idaho. Even students of the University of Idaho and neighbors know that the real killers are students of the University of Idaho. For a fact. That's for a fact. Neighbors, and when I mean neighbors, is not just the neighbors on the locality of that little block. I'm talking about residents of Moscow, Idaho that don't have nothing to fucking do with the University of Idaho. No, for a fact. Because people that knows people that knows people that knows people, urban legends spread like gas. You just gotta like the match. Urban legends, especially when it's a fact that multiple people seen it happen, people gonna talk. Killers are gonna brag about it. Dylan Mortensen gonna brag about it with her closest friends, and you think they gonna not say nothing? Do your own research. Do your own research. I'm not gonna tell you how to do that research. Do your own research. Try to find how many students from the University of Idaho never went back, not even when Bryan Kohberger got arrested. You know why? Because they know the fucking truth. They not just know that the students of the University of Idaho, a particular group of students, very close to the house, so close to the house. These people in Moscow, Idaho, at this day today know who the fuck is the killers. These people right now in Moscow, Idaho, that knows that Dylan has something to do with that death. It's people right now in Moscow, Idaho, they will tell you, even in Boise, people will tell you that they know Dylan has something to do with that shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And now, hold on, before we keep playing this shit. Oh, now we're gonna have the so-called DoorDash driver got caught on a motherfucking DUI. And you say to the cops that you are one of the people that's gonna testify against Bryan Kohberger, for them to have lineage with you, for the cops to have lineage with you. You only said that on camera to the cops have lineage with you because you got caught on the motherfucking DUI, you stupid bitch. You got caught on DUI, and you want the cops to be nice and easy on you. You want the prosecution that is gonna take care of that case. See that body cam footage and be like, oh, she's one of us. She's one of us. She have to say what we tell her to say. She have to do what we tell her to do. You want this DUI away? You want this DUI away from your record? Do you ever want to drive again? Guess what? This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. You know what that driver only going to testify for? You know what that driver is only going to testify for? That she delivered the food, and that's about it. Oh yeah, you said that was Bryan Kohberger. How you identified that that's Bryan Kohberger's car? How you know that that was Bryan Kohberger? Did you see Bryan Kohberger? And he say, if she say yes, and Ray tell him he was not even in Idaho, but that witness lie in court, the witness is gonna get everything is coming to her. I dare that witness. I dare that witness. I dare that witness. I dare that witness. No, she cannot get no immunity for a DUI. She would have got immunity. She would have got immunity if she participated on the killing, or she was like a defendant, a co-defendant, something like that. She don't need immunity, and she cannot get immunity for a DUI just to testify on the case, because the DUI don't have nothing to do with the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna give you immunity on the DUI if you testify." No, they can't do that. And the only way she could get any type of immunity is if she have anything to do with the crime, and that's about it. No one is gonna get immunity for a DUI when the DUI don't have nothing to do with the case. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Big shout out to Lucy Lou. Listen, I got demonetized, but I had to come with a solution. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I got demonetized, but I had to come with a quick solution. Just saying. Hey. This is free promo, free promo. This is not a pay advertisement. This is not a pay advertisement. This is a free plug. This is a free plug. I'm not being paying. I'm not being paid from Simple Moving Solution. I'm not being paid by them. Just let it be. Let it be. Okay. Let it be. Let it be. All right. Cool. But then now, legacy media and people out there like, oh, we got a better witness than Dylan Martinson. Listen, man, stop being fucking idiots. Please stop being fucking idiots. If this lady was a witness that the prosecution is relying upon, she would be on the PCA, you fucking idiots. Her testimony would be on the PCA. Her testimony would be talked about a long time ago. If she was anything reliable, or the prosecution was counting on her on anything key against Bryan Kohberger, she would be on the PCA as well as Dylan Martinson. So now you think this. If Dylan Martinson cannot be used and is not a reliable witness, and she was in the house, what make you think that a DoorDash driver that it will put the foot at the door and bounce? That's what she did. She put the food right in front of the door, took a picture, and left. She didn't see Ethan. She didn't see Sana. She didn't see Bethany. She didn't see Dylan. Actually, no one, while she was still there, no one opened the door to pick up the food while she was still there. Ask me how I know that when all that information is gagged. If Dylan Martinson is not a reliable witness, what make you think? And she's in the PCA. What make you think that the DoorDash driver has anything to offer to prosecution besides like, yeah, I was the driver. I put the food in front of the door. I left. But she making it sound like because she knows the body cam that they're wearing, because she knows she's part of the bullshit. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm one of the witnesses that are going to testify against Bryan Kohberger. So they feel sorry for you, bitch. That's the only reason why you're saying that. So the cops and prosecution feel sorry for you because you're going to testify for them. But what you're going to testify, not a fucking thing. It's not one fucking thing that the DoorDash driver could say against Bryan Kohberger at all. Because if she do so and cite proof with the information he got, that Bryan Kohberger was nowhere around, she gonna get locked up. I don't think they're willing to risk that. I don't, especially not being part of the PCA, especially not being part of the essential witnesses, because she was an essential witness. We already would know by now today that she was an essential witness because she would be part of the PCA. And So please, people, stop being retarded. Acting like, oh my God, this witness, this is it. You see, I told you he guilty. Shut the fuck up. Go and sit on the pine cone, spin twice, and then go and hug a cactus. Big shout out to Megan. Big shout out to Megan. It hit different.
Life history. It is the duty of the defense to find and investigate all mitigating information. We do have several experts that would be ready for the mitigation portion of the case, should the case reach that phase. And they rely on understanding family history and Mr. Kohberger's own history. They can only understand what they've been presented. And the investigation to fully evaluate needs to be thorough. That means that records have to be collected. That means that interviews, collateral interviews have to be done, and those have not all been completed. And it's not because of a lack of diligence in this case. Further, when things that are noted as red flags arise, those things must be investigated. Red flags aren't fanciful ideas of what else could we do in this case. They're real things that come up in the course of the investigation, and whether or not they're important to mitigation and presentation for a jury's consideration requires time to investigate and collect records. Documentation is very important.
Yes, documentation is very important. Big shout outs and GG. Thank you so much to CHIC BATE. Thank you so much for coming by. We so much appreciate you. Thank you so much for being part of this show. We appreciate your presence here. Oh, Louis is not your husband. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Big shout out to Louis. Thank you so much for y'all to come over and have a great time with us. We appreciate it so much. And please make sure that y'all come back again. GG's. Have a good night. We so much appreciate y'all both. Have an amazing, wonderful day.
The court's aware that red flags have come up and they require further investigation. Those are issues that may mean a lot to the experts that would be ready to testify, but they can't be presented until there's a full investigation. They are things that might change the course of the evaluation or might require us to have an additional expert to help explain certain circumstances. And that's important for the individualized sentencing that's required by the Constitution. Your Honor, there have been numerous challenges with gathering records and interviewing collateral witnesses. I know the court is aware of some of those particular issues. I'm not going to highlight them now, but it's imperative that we be able to collect records and conduct interviews from other family members besides just Mr. Kohberger and his parents. And it's also imperative that his history be complete with educational records, medical records, and those things are still being done to this day. The other reason that a continuance is appropriate in this case is based on the media coverage, the Dateline issue that has been talked.
You know, it's crazy to say that at this day today, you see, y'all need to understand, right? If prosecution been withholding information and discovery, it holds the tactics that they are going to utilize to defend this man. They won't be able to do a good job representing Bryan Kohberger if they don't have the totality of discovery. And even after they have the totality of discovery, now they have to process the whole full scope, where they have it on pieces everywhere. So then now they have to put it together for them to analyze what the prosecution has against Bryan Kohberger and see what could be the tactic that the prosecution is going to utilize. And they'll know that due to whatever the prosecution bring to the table as far as a discovery. If the defense team just got discovery this week, they are not going to be ready. And they're going to try to use the excuse like, oh, but well, if you know the complicity of these the complications of this case, why you took up on the second case, when you should focus on this one case. It don't fucking matter, because they only utilize that argument for effect. They're only utilizing that argument as a mask. They masking the inconsistencies and irregularities and the holes in this case, while the judge is being biased towards the prosecution. The judge is applying argument against the defense team when where is no argument there to make, because the judge has the transcript. So when we hear the judge talking and performing in the way he does, he's being delusional. Delusional. It's like he see the inconsistencies, he's seeing the problem on record, he's seeing what's going, and he still will try to force it down people's throat. If this was not a compromised judge, if HIPPLER was not a biased judge in favor of the prosecution, he wouldn't be not speaking, reacting, and performing in the way he is, because we could tell that he's being unbiased in the way he handling the case, in the same way he had the transcript and has seen the things that we don't see, and we know what we know. That only tells us that the judge is compromised. He's a confirmed bias. And he's right on our faces. Is you serious?
Talked about in this courtroom before and what's yet to come. The Dateline episode wasn't just a one-time deal back in May. That continues to be talked about. Everything that happens in this case continues to be talked about, and this court has a duty, a responsibility to make sure that Mr. Kohberger receives a fair trial. That comes from Shepard versus Maxwell, 384 U.S. 333. And a continuance may be the way that the court can best protect Mr. Kohberger. That comes from Patton versus Yount, 467 U.S. 1025.
And yes, man, listen, man. Is wrong. Is wrong. And this is why Ann Taylor is saying that, because think about it. They moved this trial. They moved this case because everything that it was going on in news media outlets and what it was put out there. Ada County, it was right there next to Layton County. Far as the places where people believe that Bryan Kohberger is guilty. Ada County, it was one of those places. It was the second highest. And the judge is going to ignore that. The judge is going to ignore that. The judge is not going to take what Ann Taylor is saying at that moment. You're going to tell me the judge is not going to take it up on consideration to continue this case? To wait until the coast is clear, to wait until things are well handled, due process. If Bryan Kohberger don't have a problem to being locked up for a little longer, why the court and the prosecution will have a problem with that? Make that make sense. And I think with this presentation, we have literally proof. easy breezy cover boy, we literally prove the bias of Ada County Judge HIPPLER. He should be taking off this the share. But I know Ann Taylor is doing nothing but collecting record. Remember, I have told you a whole bunch of things and they have all come out. I just found the live stream when I told you, don't be surprised if they vacate the court date. I told you long time ago. Do not be surprised if this trial gets extended. I told you a long time ago. Look at where we at today. Big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to the moderators. Big shout out to CHIC, BATE, Amy Conway, Backwoods. Big shout out to Lucy Lou. Big shout out to Twisted Sticks. Let me know if anyone else want to pop up to the panel and say anything. If not, I think we have made that record clear. This is easy for me. This right here, this is easy for me. I know all the content creators, they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to think about this case, man. This case is so complicated, man. The only thing that we could do is have a hive mind. We need to have a hive mind. Fuck your hive mind. How about you pay attention to the case and say the right things so you don't have to have a hive mind. You know why you have a hive mind? Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're only guessing. How about you just motherfucking pay attention and say what you gotta say? Stupid. Oh, stupid. But big shout out to all content creator. Big shout out to Swamp Rose. Thank you so much for subscribing. Listen, big shout out to Swamp Rose. Make sure everybody subscribe to Swamp Rose. Thank you so much. Make sure everybody subscribe to Amy Conway. Everybody subscribe to Lucy Lou. Everybody subscribe to Backwood. Listen, subscribe to CHIC BATE. Subscribe to everyone that you see on the chat right now. Very so much. I appreciate it. I think we did it. We have done it for the past 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. I have sat here and told you since day one what you was about to see in the future. I told you back then, 2022, 2023, us here, me, Jrod on point, with Amy Conway and Jane, Joanne and many others, Kathleen, Cindy, Top Petite, Ron John, and many others, the OGs in this channel. We've been here since the beginning of this case telling you what you was about to see in the future. Right now, we are in the future. And it's great. It's a great feeling when we get validated. We got validated with Kiely Rodni case. It was not a close case. It's still foul play at this day today. That's why it's still open in the hands of the FBI. We was proven right. Kiely Rodni case is not close. Who you talking to? What? You've been told the case is closed. What? You've been told Bryan Kohberger is guilty. You believe this shit. Stupid son of a bitch. But we've been validated on the Kiely Rodni case. We've been validated even with the Richard Allen case, because even though he got the guilty conviction, right? Right after that, Logan admitted that he killed those girls before he died. So if you're going to take upon consideration a confession with no details from Richard Allen, and it's a jail confession, you have to take upon consideration Logan confessing with details. And we told you from day one that who was the killer? Logan. We said it here first. Who ended up confessing? Logan. And that information came out after they already had a conviction from Richard Allen. What a coincidence. Oh, let's get the conviction, and then we're just going to tell the other story. I don't know if that's going to go in appeal, but I tell you right now, if Richard Allen goes to appeal, he'll be a free man. I'm going to tell you right now. We got validated with the Karen Reed case. I sit here and I told you from the beginning. I told you I did study the case, but I'm not covering the case because it's too many people covering that case. Too much people. Too much people. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna study the case and I'm gonna turn on the light and I'm gonna tell you Karen Reed is innocent. The cops at the house where he went, did they sick the dog on him? His own so-called friends and fraternal from the Fraternal Order of Police, his own friend cops look like they're real killers. Then they have Proctor, friend of the alleged killer, real killer, cock blocking the whole case and acting like that whatever mistakes he made, so-called mistakes, and whatever bad wrongdoing that he got fired for, it was negligent. That's how they get away with crimes. You did a good job. You did a good job. It was negligence. You did not did this purposely. Because if you would have done it purposely, you get locked up and indicted for it. So guess what? We're gonna say that you are a stupid son of a bitch. That you do. This is why you got fired, because you don't know what the fuck you was doing. You were supposed to be a detective, and you suck. They'd rather to say that you suck as a detective for you to get away with the crime that you committed, then tell the whole world, yeah, we utilized this one cop, they investigated this case to make sure the other cops get away with it. How did that work for you, Proctor? How did that work for you? And it feels good being validated. Listen, I didn't even cover the case. I did not cover the case. I didn't make not one dime of the Karen Reed case. And that's why I told you she was innocent, didn't I? Didn't I? What happened? What happened? And we said it here first. She innocent. White Court TV and Law&Crime telling you like, oh, Karen Reed look guilty. Oh well, they have vast evidence against Karen Reed. Oh my God, this evidence is unbeatable. Oh yeah, but guess what? We got validated, and we ain't even covered the case. DUI. She take that probation smack in the hand. Keep it. How you doing? Keep it moving. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Idaho 4 case is gonna be the cherry on top for our validation. Small channel doing better work than big content creator. Listen, big content creator on a small channel. Okay. Big shout out to everyone who was watching. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us, Amy Conway. Make sure everybody go and subscribe to Amy Conway. We appreciate everyone that came by very so much. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Lucy Lou. Big shout out to Twizzle Thick. Big shout out to Kane. Big shout out to everyone that actually enjoy and consume our content. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything that y'all do, not just for this channel, but for the true crime community. Amy Conway, we love you too. We appreciate you. Everything that Amy Conway do for us and does for the true crime community. Big shout out to all of y'all. Make sure if you find any value in the content that we put here together for you, in the way we analyze these cases, in the way we analyze the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case and many other cases, please make sure, just please make sure we love you too, Amy. Just make sure that if you got it to spend, if you got it to give, if it's there just occupying space in your pocket, listen, send it this way right here to the Cash App, the On Point Family. We could utilize it now more than ever. It's not mandatory, but if you have it to give it, send it this way. We appreciate you. You're not just helping this channel to grow, you're also helping a family to grow. Thank you so much. Very so much appreciated. Make sure that you click like, subscribe, and share the content. And as always, believe in yourself because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're going to take the best decisions in your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Love yourself, take care of yourself, so you'll be able to love and care for others. As always, your favorite brother, your mother's favorite son, the Black Sheep, Jrod on Point. I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, we demonetized, but we don't worry about it. Because guess what? We got a bigger fish to fry. We're going to bring the content. We're going to do better. We're going to be better. And we're going to grow as it goes. Thank you so much, all moderators. Thank you so much for all subscribers. I'm going to leave you with your favorite song. My favorite song. You so sexy. Have a good morning, everyone. Love ya. Always.
Salga la luz, sexy millar, la que me tira a la guiña, aunque andes con su man, vamos a misionar.
Come over here and let me know your name, boy. Your sexy smile got me checking for your seal. You caught my eyes and I'm seeing if you're seeing.